Chapter 12, Higuera Street. You should be facing Higuera Street from the Court Street Shopping Center, and from here, we'll turn right. This quintessential main street is named for the Higuera family, who migrated to California in 1774 with the De Anza expedition from Spanish-controlled Mexico, or what is now modern-day Arizona. The name is correctly pronounced Higuera, but locals changed the pronunciation and today it's known as Higuera. The Higueras settled in California's first pueblo, San Jose. Third-generation son Thomas B. Higuera came to San Luis Obispo in 1855. He and his wife Basila Hernandez had 15 children, and Higuera descendants still live here today. Higuera Street has been the commercial hub of the town since 1890. Harrington Brothers Harness and Saddle, Sandercock Transfer, Dennis Pharmacy, Union Meat Market, and San Luis Grocery were all thriving businesses on Higuera Street during the early 1900s. You'll continue to walk south on Higuera, crossing Morrow Street at the light. If you look across Higuera, you'll see the Gap, and just south of the Gap, Charles Shoes. In that very spot, the city's fire station stood. In the 1800s, most buildings were built from wood and were spaced closely together. Quite the obvious fire hazard. By 1869, a dramatic fire finally got the attention of locals and motivated them to raise funds for a fire company. Prior to that, the town had relied on a night watchman who would walk the city from 9 p.m. to sunrise and sound the alarm by shooting his pistol and shouting "Fire!" to alert residents. In 1874, a meeting was held at the county courthouse to form a fire company and purchase a fire engine. The name San Luis Fire Company No. 1 was chosen, and local merchants and businessmen championed the cause to protect their shops. Initially, the firefighters were volunteers. Soon they were able to buy a hand-drawn two-wheel hose cart and 500 feet of fire hose. By 1875, they were fully organized and operational. However, it wasn't until January 1879 that a building was in place. The first firehouse was built right here where you see Charles Shoes. Designed to be a multi-use building, San Luis Fire Company No. 1 housed the fire department and the police department, which explains why there are jail cells that still exist to this day in the back of Charles Shoes. Construction on the new fire station took 8 months and cost $5,875. The building was designed with a center stairway that led to the second floor where the city offices were located. Also on the second floor were living quarters for the firemen and a pole running through to the first floor so they could access their fire equipment at a moment's notice. The local firehouse was run by volunteers for over 80 years and was said to be one of the finest group of firefighters in the state. In 1938, the building was damaged by fire, ironically, and was structurally unstable. Eventually, City Hall and fire stations were rebuilt elsewhere in the city, and the site was sold in 1948. Continue walking south on Higuera until you see the Weinman Hotel sign on your left. The Weinman will be on the same side of the street as Charles Shoes, but we suggest you stay on the right side of the street for a better view.